Next up, Fulham then. What's the early team news? I know there's a couple of sessions left for you, but what's the team news ahead of the trip?
But we have to see how players recovered from illness like Cristiano, from injury like Anthony. Yesterday, Anthony Martial plays his first minutes from the start after the Everton. I have to see how he recovers. So we have some issues, some questions, how we line up, and so what plan we take.
Fulham, they're possibly the surprise package of the Premier League so far, doing very, very well, have got some good results against big teams. So what kind of game will you expect from them?
Yeah, I think that gives them belief, but I think also we have confidence, and it's up to us. When we are good, then we will perform well, and against every tough opponent, what Fulham will be definitely. I think especially at home they play energetic, but as I said, when we are good, when we are focused, and then we stick to the plan, I think then we have a cool chance to collect the 3 points, and that is what we need.
Game before the World Cup, how hectic, how busy has the October and November periods been for the players and your staff?
It's busy, but we like it. To play games. I think all the players prefer games above training. So when you have every 3 days you have a game, we are happy.
It must be very challenging though for you and your staff particularly, all the organisation, all the planning, setting your teams up for each match. How have you found it?
Yeah, it's clear. It's a lot of work, but when I say you get energy from it, but yeah, it's about get the rhythm, prepare the game, play the game, evaluate the game, and move forward. And that's the thing. Every time we handle it, and I think we did quite well.
Thursday night's win against Villa, that was our third comeback win in just over a month. Prior to that, it was December 2021 against Arsenal that we had the last comeback win. How happy are you with the way your team shows character and resilience when behind in games to go and get a result?
Every big team can do. So if you want to be a big team, you have to do. So then you have to show resilience, determination, deal with the setbacks, have the belief you can fight back. And it's all about belief, it's all about fighting spirit and togetherness. You will have setbacks, definitely. In every game, between games, in a season. So you have to deal with it. If you want to be a big team, if you want to win, then you have to deal with it.
You've helped many a young player develop and progress in their careers, and Alejandro Garnacho is one of them now. We can't expect too much too soon, but how happy are you with his progress, and what's the secret as a manager to let young talent emerge and become first team players?
First of all, there's a moment when you bring players, and that is you follow their process and during training sessions, and you work all day with them, matches, and you following it, you evaluate, and then it's about thinking about the potential, what he has, and you know when you bring him into games once, he has to be ready, but when you bring him in games, he will develop, his development will accelerate. And that is what we see in this moment with Alejandro. From the start of the season, he makes a lot of progress. We bring him in, and the last games he played, and he did very well. And of course there are lacks where we have to work on, where we have to work on with him together, where he has to improve. And when he keeps in this mindset, there's a really cool chance that can be a really attractive player for us. And I hope that he will keep continuing this progress and this development.
Yeah, we hope so too. It's been a thrill to watch recently, and there's a good mood and energy about the place right now. What's it been like in this week, particularly with players finding out whether they're going to the World Cup or not?
So some they are certain they will be in the squad, but there are also others. They have to find out, and of course every manager from every nation, you can appoint 26 players, and for some it's a question, and of course that will give doubts with them, will give concerns with them, and it's obvious everyone wants to be in that big event. And it's great to be part of it, to match yourself with the biggest players in the world, with the federations from the nations, to compete, and it gives motivation. And now it's about keep the focus for the last game, and then go to the World Cup and there perform.
And I can't be sitting with a man with your football knowledge and intelligence without asking you about the World Cup. Is it a tournament you enjoy watching, and how do you predict it will go? I won't ask you for a winner because that's putting you on the spot, but how much will you enjoy the tournament as a whole?
Yeah, of course, also for me as football, the one who loves football, and I will watch it, I will follow it, and especially because a lot of our players are involved. And you will have to focus on them more than maybe on other nations, but you will watch it with a lot of pleasure, looking forward. But a little bit strange it is. So in the middle of the season, you're also thinking about your own team, Manchester United. What are the consequences for them, and how after this break, how do you continue? And normally it's in the summer, and that is you have a long pre-season after. First a break before a summer holiday, then a pre-season, and then you continue. But now on the 27th, even before the 27th, we will play the Carabao Cup. I think 4 or 5 days after the final of the World Cup. So it's a little bit weird.
So how do you feel we will be as a squad when football restarts after the World Cup?
So that is a question mark. No one knows, and so I'm happy. A lot of our players are involved because it means we have good players. Also, they will be playing games, hopefully. And the ones who play the games, they will come back fit. They are ready to play. I think it's a disadvantage for teams who are not have that many players. In the World Cup, they will have to play friendlies, and friendlies are different as real games. But I'm the most concerned from the players who are in the squads but don't play, because they don't have friendlies and they only have the training for substitutes, and they can drop off in fitness, they can drop off in focus, no matter what, and maybe also they come back. In what mental health state they come back, that is a question mark, and that is a concern. That is what we have to manage. Looking forward, I have to follow, but I see some consequences what have opening ends.